I feel like they want me to be with like a gentleman.
Known each other for a long time, but let's see what happens.
I'm happy. I feel like Catherine's got such a big, lovely smile. She's a beautiful girl. It'll be nice to get to know her.
Welcome back to my side.
Yeah, the public. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Am I the only one who finds a couple of these people on All Stars a bit I don't think they were the best of the best. I think the producers just went for what they thought the viewers want to see or who they thought was more controversial. The idea to bring back Luca and Olivia doesn't make sense to me. I know Turbo is good TV, especially when girls are fighting over him, but I don't understand them too. And oh my God, I feel like I'm going to put a prediction. If Marcel considers seriously pursuing something with Gabby, Gabby's ready. I feel she's ready, but I can't wait to see what happens there. And the Audacity people, I told you to match, Catherine with Ronnie. He would have been a way better match for her than anyone else. So I don't get why you felt Naz was the best for her. But anyway, I digress. Hey there, thanks for stopping by. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, click the like button, turn on the notification bell for when I upload new videos, and definitely leave a comment. In this episode, I'll be reviewing Love Island All Stars, Season 2, Episode 1. I'm going to say, I'm not going to lie, but I am very nervous about Catherine being on this season. I actually tweeted about it because her edit was terrible last time. And so it makes me question, is this a good idea? Are they going to be more sensitive with her, or are they just going to continue from where the producers left? I don't know. I'm just anxious. Anyway, so we start off with Catherine and Curtis. They're the first two to arrive. Catherine, we know her from season 10. She's now 24 years old. She left. Well, she was in a couple with Scott, and people were very hypercritical of Scott, saying he's a game player, he's not there for the right reasons, blah, 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 blah. And then Catherine went to Casa and she came back with Elam because she said, they wanted to build an empire. Turns out Elam only wanted to come back to the villa, so that didn't work out. And because of the edit she got in how she responded to Scott when she came back, a lot of people had their backs up, including myself. And then when she left the villa, apparently she revealed that she had apologized to Scott and they were on good terms, and Scott even said the same. So I really don't know whether this is a good idea for her. I don't know. She says, last time she listened to her friends, this time she's going to do what she wants. And it's like, well, if you listen to your friends in the villa, when you left the villa, if you really liked Scott like that, you could have easily connected with him. You could have easily apologized for the way you spoke to him again, and the two of you could have rekindled. But you didn't. The two of you decided, Scott went on to do Love Island America, and then he did Love Island All-Star. Well, Love Island Games, not All Stars. So the two of you, if you really wanted to rekindle, you would have rekindled. We can't blame your friends. If you didn't like him, it's okay to say, he wasn't my person, I outgrew him. That's okay. She comes in with Curtis. He's 28 and he's from season 5. I only started watching Love Island in season 8, so most of these people, I won't know them. I'll only know from season 8 going up, because that's the season that I was sort of introduced to it. Apparently, Curtis has been single for 4 months, and he has previously cheated on a partner, and he said, he realized it wasn't working out, so he broke it off. When I heard Curtis, I thought of the guy from Love Island Games, the one who was with... what's her name? I've forgotten. The ones that won the Love Island Games the first season. What's her name? Oh my gosh, my mind has gone blank. So that's who I thought he was, but no, it's not him. They have a conversation and they sort of realize that they both are familiar with Dublin. She's from Dublin. He's lived in Dublin for a little bit. Do I think they make a good couple? No. I really wanted Catherine with Ronnie, because I think Ronnie is going to be a turbo, and at least Catherine would be able to sort of contain him, and he would be able to keep her safe, because it seems the producers really love him. In is Ronnie, Turbo, and Gabby. And I remember wondering why they sent Ronnie very early. His elimination didn't make any sense. Yes, he left with Harriet, but they were entertainment gold, and I don't know whether the producers decided to send them home so that they could bring him back for All Stars, because I didn't understand it. I really didn't. I think there were other people that could have gone home, including my favorite Kieran. He could have gone home because Turbo was just the drama at its peak. And had he stayed in the villa, I think the dynamic of the villa would have been totally different. And maybe they felt, there were too many characters, big characters in the villa, and that's why they sent him home. So he left with Harriet. Apparently they broke up. He wouldn't say why they broke up. He just said things didn't work out. So, hey, it is what it is. What do you do? We have Gabby. Gabby's 32 now. She was in series 3. Apparently, she was with Marcel, she said, and they broke up because he cheated on her. And it's like, wow, that's really bad. That's really bad. So, she's come in looking for love. She says she's got a thing for constantly picking people that cheat on her. So she's hoping to find her person. And I hope she does find her person. And it makes you sort of skeptical when people leave the villa. If all these people are living with partners and then suddenly they're breaking up, are the connections real or are the connections just there to be on TV? Next in is Naz and India. When I heard India, I was sort of surprised because I only know one India. As I said, I started watching in series 8. So I was questioning, is she not with Dami? But anyway, it's a totally different India. So Naz is 28. He was in series 6. I don't know if he's the only one from series 6 thus far. So he has been single for a year. Apparently, he was with the person he left the villa with, and they were together for 4 years, but then they split up because things just fizzled out, according to him. And so he's been single for a year and is hoping the villa, will be his good luck charm and give him his person for life. And it's like, well, okay, it is what it is. Do I think he'll find his person this time around? I don't know. I really don't know because I don't know him. So I can't wait to see how he sort of navigates that. India is 34. She's from series 6. No, she's from series 5. Apparently, she left the villa with Ovi and they dated for a couple of months, but then Ovi released a statement to say that they had broken up before he even told her that, they had broken up. She says she's been single for 2.5 years, so she can't wait to find her person. And it's like, what happened between the two of them, her and Ovi? I'm very curious to find out, so I can't wait to see what happens. Ronnie is interested. Turbo is interested in her. You can see the way he's eyeing up India that, okay, he's ready to go. I can't wait to see what he gets up to. Next up is Kaz and Scott. When I heard Scott, I actually thought Scott from Catherine's season, but it's a totally different Scott. It's Scott from season 2. Anyway, Kaz. I know Kaz. I saw Kaz on the challenge when she competed with Jordan and they won. That's where I know her from. And so Kaz at this point in her life is 29. She's from series 4 and she says she's known for stealing Josh from Georgia. And they were together for 6 months and that didn't work out. Hey, it is what it is. At least they gave it a shot. What do I think? I think she's beautiful. I really do. Do I think she'll find her person? I hope so. I really hope so. Because for anyone that goes on Love Island, I hope they find their person. And sadly, some of them are not prepared to receive love when they go on Love Island and they miss their person. And if they're lucky, they have a second time round. But hopefully she finds her person. Scott apparently is 36. He was on series 2. He left with KD. And then he's been dating someone on and off for 18 months. And so he's been single for 6 months, it seems, and he's been pursuing his sobriety and he's working on that. And so for me, it's like, is Love Island the right place for you to go if you're working on your sobriety? I don't know. I really don't think it's the best place because all they do is stupid games that at times involve alcohol. And so hopefully the producers are careful of that and they don't make him fall off the bandwagon by overstressing him and sort of offering him alcohol to get a reaction from him. So I can't wait to see what happens in his quest for sobriety and how he's able to sort of to navigate finding love on Love Island at this age. It seems most of the islanders are quite grown, are quite older. There's no teenagers and there's no early 20s. Everybody's mid-20s and above, which is amazing. Next in is Olivia and Luca. And the question is why? Why? Seriously, why? Of all the people that you could think of, why did you think these two geniuses were the best people to bring in? Because there is nothing about them that stands out, especially Olivia. Olivia is just auditioning for her next role, which she seems to have failed to get the last time she was there. Apart from fighting with Zara, there was nothing really stand out about her. So she's back. She's from series 9. She's now 29 years old. And it's like, okay. What else? Oh, I think a lot of people didn't expect to see me. Yes, we didn't expect to see you. Yes, we didn't. Last time you were there, she says she was in about 6 couples. She played with the guys up until she coupled up with Kai. And then when she went to Casa, she came back with Maxwell and then stayed with Maxwell until she was voted out. And it seems Kai found his person because he's now engaged to be married. So, I wonder what game she's going to play. I wonder who she's going to target and sort of try and pretend to be a victim of. I hope she stays away from Catherine because then it will show something that we really don't want to believe about her. You have Luca. We all saw him in season 8. He was with Dami and India, and he coupled up with Gemma and stayed with Gemma until the very end. And people were teasing him that he was obsessed with Gemma's dad. This is why he was with Gemma. So I don't know. He says he's been single since he left the villa. He's now 25 years old. And so for me, it's like, what have you been doing? What? There was no girl who was on par with you, or what? Or have you just been, running a train through girls and just moving from bed to bed to bed? Make it make sense. You can't tell me at your age you've been single for 2 years. That's impossible to believe. If you've been here, you've heard me champion that they need to bring in all the participants. But I don't think 39 years old should be going on Love Island. I think 39, you should be going on Love is Blind or Married at First Sight. I really don't. Anyway, you have Marcel and Ellen be the last two to come in. And Marcel apparently is 39 years old. He's from series 3. He left the villa with Gabby. He was coupled up with Gabby. Apparently, he cheated on her. And then he later got married, and now he's going through a divorce. And so it makes you question, you were with someone for 8 months when you left the villa, and then you got married and it didn't work out. And to you, your mind said to you, let's go to Love Island. That was the genius idea you came up with. I think it's just for clout, because it doesn't make sense why he would come back to the villa. None at all. It doesn't make sense why you'd come back to the villa. You have Ellen. She's 32. She is from series 5. Apparently, she came in as a bombshell with Myra Higgins, but she didn't stay long. She said she actually didn't even change her necks because she was in and out. And it's really sad. So hopefully this time she has a go round. Do I think she'll find her person? Maybe. But some of these guys are very superficial. So at 32, I don't know whether she's going to find the guy that she's hoping for. I hope she does, but it's highly unlikely. I really felt sorry for Gabby when you had her ex walk in, because you could tell she was so nervous. She didn't know what to do with herself. And the producers are messy for constantly doing this, whereby they bring in people with their ex-partners and they don't tell them that your ex is coming until they walk in. So for Gabby to see Marcel was shocking. And I love that Maya was very sort of sly about it and very sleek, actually not sly but sleek, because she said to her, okay, let's go to the fire pit, and then immediately she took Gabby away because Gabby didn't know what to do with herself. She didn't know whether to greet him, whether to turn her back on him or whatever, because he had just walked in. So they get to the fire pit, they all sit down, and then they decide to play a game. And I love the level of maturity that the producers are showing this time round, because before they would have asked them, try before you buy or whatever nonsense. But this time they gave them red flags and said, pick a red flag and give it to the person that you think is a red flag, and then give your reason. So you had Elma she asked the girls, did he cheat on you, Gabby? And Gabby said yes. And then she went, okay, I'll give him your flag. So she gave him her flag, sort of as a way, I think, of trying to unite with the girls, thinking that's what everyone else was going to do. I didn't get it. You have Gabby, she gave, Marcel her red flag. Was it expected? Yes, because obviously there's that bad blood from him cheating on her. Kaz gave her red flag to Scott because she said he's been single for 10 years and she can't understand why. And it's like, well, he's already said he's got a history of substance abuse, so I would assume because of that he was struggling to get into a serious relationship with anyone. You have Lev. She gave her red flag to Ronnie because she said Ronnie DM'd her while he was still in a relationship with Harriet, so she doesn't like that. And it's like, why are you making a mess? You said you didn't remember. Suddenly now you're saying you remember. And the girls actually asked her to say, but you said you didn't remember. And she said, well, I wanted things to settle down a bit before I said anything. And it's like, it's just for the drama. It really is. And then Luca got the other 2 flags. He got his first one from Catherine because Catherine said, why have you been single in the real world for so long? You've been out of the villa for 2 years and you say you haven't dated anyone since Gemma. Make that make sense? It doesn't make sense. He then got another red flag from India, and India said, it's because you're younger than me and your mates, I don't think they would agree to you sort of dating me. And for him to throw it behind him, Luca's very pompous and very full of himself. He thinks he is the Izzy. He doesn't realize that he's actually not that good looking, or his personality is not that great, and this is why maybe he's been struggling to find a girl. And to Catherine, he said, it's not that I'm sleeping around every week. Yeah, you're not sleeping around every week, but something is off. You're 24, 25, and you're telling us that you haven't dated anyone since the villa. Make that make sense? Once Maya Jama leaves, you have people sit down for conversations. They needed to be had at the end of the day. They needed to be had. You have Lev go and have a conversation with Ronnie. And Ronnie is saying he wasn't in a relationship with Harriet. He was speaking to her, but they were not yet in a set relationship. So he didn't feel like he was cheating. That's the impression that he's giving. Lev then said, okay, she forgives him and she's happy to move on. I think it was nothing that Liv was trying to make into something. And I think she realized this and she quickly drew back because she realized that, this is not the game play for her to try and be a mean girl 2 times round. She might not be able to watch the stain of this time. You had Gabby have a conversation with Marcel. I think it was needed. Am I the only one who noticed the Libra sensor on his arm? He's diabetic. I didn't know that. Anyway, Marcel had a Libra sensor. For anyone who knows what a Libra sensor is, it's one of those things that you sort of scan over with your phone and then you get your blood sugar reading for all. So they had a conversation and I like that they were able to sort of end things amicably in the sense that you had Gabby. I think Gabby still has feelings for this guy. I really think she does. And I think if Marcel was going to try and rekindle with her, I think she would give him a go round. She actually said to the girls, no, he's an amazing guy. And they were all saying, because Luca was interested, that she's not shutting it down. I think she's leaving the door open. If he can redeem himself, she will take him back, which is good for him. They had the conversation and he was saying, if you want an opinion on a guy or from a guy's point of view, I'm here for you. And she said the same for you. But I think there's a possibility, unlike last season where we had Molly and her ex and we could tell that he wasn't interested. I think if Marcel turns his head for Gabby, she will bite. And so it's going to be interesting to see who they are coupled with. It was interesting to see Kaz sort of flirting with Scott because she said she gave him her red flag because she wanted him to be able to pull her for a chat. So that worked because he did pull her for a chat. And it's like, okay, it is what it is. I don't see it. I really don't. I think he's an amazing guy, but because I don't know him from his season, I don't know what his personality is like. So I can't wait to see what happens there. You then have, the islanders get ready for the night. They pick up their drinks and then they go to sit down. The boys are sitting amongst themselves. They're having a conversation. The girls are sitting amongst themselves and sort of wishing the boys would come over to pull them for a chat. You have, Curtis is the one who's pushed by the boys to go for a chat first. And he went to pull Kaz. I was wondering which Curtis. When I said Curtis and I was saying, oh, he was with this girl. I know Curtis from All Stars No, not All Stars, Love Island Games, when he was with Justine. I'm willing to bet he's the one. I'm willing to bet he's the one who was with Justine. So he's having a conversation with Kaz. He's flirting up a storm. He really likes Kaz. And he says, because the guys had asked him, who's your top 3? And he said Kaz, India, and Catherine. So I don't know. I can't wait to see who he picks or who he's coupled up with. You have Ronnie pull Elm for a chat. And Turbo, he already told the guys that I don't like to think because if I think I get in trouble. And Turbo about to move mad in the villa. And it's about to be messy because although Curtis says he likes Kaz, you have Olivia already trying to claim him and saying she really likes him. And it's like, your opinion is not needed here, really. Your opinion is not needed. You don't need to tell us who you like because the viewers are going to decide for you. So you can take several seats and wait to be coupled up with whoever you're coupled up with. Maya Jama arrives and it's time for the couplings. And so she calls them all by the pool and lets them know that, they're going to recouple because the public have decided who they want them to couple up with. First up is Kaz. Kaz is coupled up with Curtis. Kaz, I think, is one of the biggest stars because she's been on more shows than everybody else that's there at the moment. So I would assume she got first round draft pick and she was given what she wanted, which was Curtis. Curtis was ecstatic. Liv wasn't happy. You could tell she wasn't happy because she was saying she's a dancer. Curtis is a dancer. So they'll make a cute couple. And it's like, I don't think so. so. I really don't think so. Just because you both love dance, does not equate to a relationship. And next up, we had India. India was coupled up with Scott. Scott had already said that he's known India for a long time, so if anything romantic was to come up, it would have come up by now. But anyway, now that he's coupled up with her, this was what he told the guys. Now that he's coupled up with her, he can't say that. So he had no choice but to seem ecstatic and say that he can't wait to see if they can get out of the friend zone. So I can't wait to see what happens there. So Catherine is coupled up with Naz, and for me, I don't get it. I really don't get it. I was shouting. I even went on Twitter and I said, I want Catherine to be coupled up with Turbo. I know. Hear me out. Turbo would have saved Catherine. Turbo would have saved Catherine from the producer's wrath. They would have been an amazing couple. They would have been dramatic, but they would have been amazing. She's not as erratic as Harriet, but she would have been great to sort of balance him out and sort of bring him back when he starts sort of wandering astray. Naz didn't seem impressed. It's giving me Mimi and Munvir vibes from last season, that they coupled up and they immediately jumped ship as soon as they could. This is what I'm getting from the two of them. You have Olivia. Olivia was coupled up with Luca. Olivia wanted Curtis, so the idea that she got Luca, she's not happy. She really is not happy. And she's trying to put lipstick on that pig, but it's not looking great. Luca doesn't seem impressed. But then at the same time, who else did he expect to couple up with? Outside of Olivia, I don't think Kaz liked him. I don't think India. He liked India, but I don't know whether India liked him because of his age. And then you have Gabby, who's still stuck on, Marcel, even though he's been married and is going through a divorce. So I don't know who else you'd have got. Elam appears to really like Ronnie, so I don't think you'd have got anyone else. Next up is Turbo. He's coupled up with Elma. Elma is ecstatic. And for me, I'm like, be careful. The devil is better than the angel you don't. Turbo about to drive you mad. He had the girls chasing after each other in season 11. So be careful what you wish for. I love him. I love his messiness, Roddy. I love the fact that he plays at being dumb and he gets away with a lot of things because girls just think he's an idiot. But at the same time, they're attracted to him. So I can't wait to see how he moves in the villa this season, which means Gabby's coupled up with Marcel. She's speechless. Gabby is still fancying Marcel. Marcel might have moved on because he's since got married, although he's getting a divorce, but Gabby still seems smitten by Marcel, such that if Marcel grafts her, she will take him back, even though he's cheated on her. She was speechless at first, and then eventually said, we had a chat, so we're in a good space. Besides, I can always make him sleep on the day beds, or we can have a pillow fort. And it's like, I think they're actually going to surprise people. I think they might actually end up rekindling, unlike, the couple from last season All Stars where they never got back together. It seems there's something there for Gabby, and I think as long as Marcel can entertain that, she's good. You have Turbo still ecstatic, is grinning from ear to ear, and I can't wait. And then Maya Jama reveals that there is a twist, because night one always has to have a twist. I'm actually surprised that Ekin-su is back, because I know she did Dancing on Ice. I don't know whether she did Dancing with the Stars. I know she did Traitors, so she's done a couple of shows, and I don't know why she's decided that this is the best thing for her to come back and do Love Island. It doesn't make sense. The math ain't mathing, because if you've already progressed and you sort of surpassed the show, why would you think it's a good idea to come back and do the show again? I'm confused. I really am confused. Anyway, Maya then reveals a twist whereby Ekin-su will get to date 3 guys of her choice in the secret garden. And then once she's dated the 3 guys, she can then sort of choose who she wants to couple up with in the next 24 hours. So I can't wait to see what happens there. Anyway, thanks guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And click the link in my video to watch my review from last season All Stars. Bye guys.